A chair scraping. A child's gasp. And then a thud. That sound. I will never forget that sound for as long as I live. My 9-year-old daughter was sitting at the Christmas table, wearing her little reindeer sweater, holding the gift she'd spent 2 weeks making with her own hands, and my father reached down, grabbed her chair, and pulled it right out from under her. She hit the floor, in front of everyone. And he looked down at her, this grown man, her grandfather, and said, "She doesn't belong here. Move." Nobody moved. Nobody spoke. 12 people at that table, and not one of them said a word. Now, I need you to understand something. I had driven 4 hours to be there. My mother had called me, begging, promising me things would be different this year. And against every instinct I had, I believed her. I should have trusted my gut the moment I walked through that door and saw the look on my father's face when Lily sat down. But I didn't leave then. I waited. I stayed calm. And then I said 4 words that changed everything. What were they? Keep watching. Before we continue with this video, please like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for updates. Let me take you back 6 months before that Christmas dinner. My phone rang on a Tuesday afternoon. I saw Dad's name on the screen. Already a bad sign, because Gerald doesn't call. He summons. I picked up anyway. He didn't say hello. He said, "If you bring that child to Christmas, don't bother coming yourself." That child. He has never once called Lily by her name. Here's what you need to know. Lily's father, Marcus, was someone my dad decided he hated before he ever shook the man's hand. I won't pretend the relationship was perfect. Marcus and I didn't last. But Lily? Lily is everything. She is the kindest, brightest 9-year-old you will ever meet. And she has spent her entire life being treated as invisible by the man who should have been her grandfather. No birthday cards. No Christmas gifts. Not a single hug. 9 years of nothing. My mother Patricia always apologized in private. My brother Derek always looked the other way. And I kept making excuses, kept showing up, kept hoping something would change. It never did. So when Mom called 3 months later begging me to come for Christmas, I almost said no. Almost. The dinner started quietly. Too quietly. Lily was excited. She'd been talking about Christmas for weeks. The decorations, the food, the family she barely knew but still wanted so badly to love her. She sat down at that table with her handmade gift in her lap and the biggest smile on her face. And then my father stood up to make his toast. He named every grandchild. One by one. 7 kids at that table. He looked each of them in the eye, said their name, smiled. He skipped Lily like she was furniture. I watched her smile flicker. Just for a second. She didn't say anything she never does. She just quietly straightened her sweater and looked down at her plate. That was the moment I should have left. I know that now. But before I could even process it, Gerald was on his feet again, walking slowly toward Lily's end of the table. The conversation around us died. Forks stopped moving. And then he grabbed the back of her chair and pulled. Lily hit the floor. He pointed to the wall. "She doesn't belong here. Move." And every single person at that table looked away. Every single one. I want you to picture what I saw in that moment. My daughter, on the floor, in her reindeer sweater, still holding her handmade gift, looking up at me with eyes that weren't crying, and that was somehow worse. She wasn't crying because she wasn't even surprised. That destroyed me. I stood up. Slowly. No raised voice. No shaking hands. Just still. The kind of still that comes when something inside you finalizes a decision it's been building toward for 9 years. Gerald looked at me like he always has. Like I was the problem. Like I was the one being dramatic. I reached into my bag. Pulled out my phone. Opened an email I had saved for 8 months and never once planned to use until now. Before I say anything, I told the table, "I need to read something." Gerald's expression shifted. Just slightly. And that's when I knew he recognized what this was about. I looked at my father one last time, and I said 4 words. "We're done here, Dad." Then I started reading. A glass tipped at the edge of the table and shattered. The room went absolutely dead silent. The email was from a family attorney. 3 years earlier, my grandmother, Gerald's own mother, had quietly amended her will. She left her house and primary estate assets directly to me, not to Gerald.
To me.
And the reason was documented in writing, the way Gerald had treated Lily.
She saw it.
She never said a word to me while she was alive, but she saw it and she acted. Gerald had known about the change for over a year. That's why the Christmas invitation came. Not reconciliation. Strategy. He needed me cooperative, warm, and grateful before he made his move to pressure me into signing assets back over. Instead, he pushed a 9-year-old girl off her chair. I picked Lily up off the floor. She looked at me and asked quietly, "Are we leaving?" I said yes. She nodded, put her handmade gift back in her bag, and walked to the door without looking back. She already knew it was never going to be opened. 2 months later, Patricia filed for separation. Derek called a real apology. I didn't rush, but I didn't hang up either. The following Christmas, it was just us three.
Take out.
A tiny tree. And Lily's gift finally opened.